What's up, you guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. So it's story time. I need you guys to invite your friends to this channel. I need you guys to share this video on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just wherever you want to share it. Word of mouth, you know, let's let people know that we can have fun in recovery. Let's let people know that even though bad things happened in our addiction, we can look back on it now and learn from those experiences. Let's show people that we have a sense of humor, you know? Because I could be so upset and living in the past, and I could focus on all the things that happened in my addiction, and that could keep me sick. But I'm not going to do that today. Okay? So, where did we leave off yesterday? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Red button down below. And you guys know the deal. Today's going to be like a really just laid back video because I'm just chilling at my house in my pajamas. Me and my little boy went shopping today, and well, you know, I'm just chilling. So, yesterday I left off with being in the county. So, I'll go ahead and do a little recap of yesterday. Yesterday we talked about the felony charge that I caught in 2008. And then a year later, I got revoked from my probation and sent to Pine Bluff, which is called, it was called RPF. It's a boot camp style prison in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So let's start. I'm going to set the tone for you guys. Okay, so it's about October, and so it's cooler outside. Here in Arkansas, it starts getting real cold the middle of October. I went to court, and the judge told me, said, we're revoking your probation, and you're sentenced to a year in RPF. And she hit the gavel, or he hit the gavel on the bing, like that. And I was standing there. I had my black pea coat on. And in the pocket, I had about 6 Xanax bars. I remember she hit that gavel. I stuck my hand in my pocket, and I went and swallowed those Xanax bars. And the bailiff came over, put the handcuffs behind my back, and took me on my way. They shackled my feet and they shackled my arms. They took me right across the way to the jail. Now, mind you, I drove myself to court. I had stuck my keys in the gas tank and told my mom if I didn't call her by the middle of the day to come and get my car because I was going to jail. They took me in, they checked me in at the county. And what they do when they check you in at county is you go inside this room with one of the lady police officers, and it's not like really that invasive. Like, she has you strip, of course. So I strip down naked, turn around, pull my butt cheeks apart, and cough, bend over and cough. And then, you know, see if anything's coming out, and everything was good. And so she gave me, I didn't have like a white bra on and a white pair of socks and a white pair of underwear. So all I got was like a scrub shirt and a scrub bottoms. So I didn't have any whites, and I couldn't get whites and stuff until I got my commissary, which is like the money that people come and put on your books. So she sprayed me down with this lice spray stuff. It was like a powder, and then took me back to my cell. And the cell block in county was like, you had like 12 cells individually, and those hold 2 girls in them. Two beds. That doesn't mean there's only 2 girls in them. And so there was 12 cells with about 2 to 4 girls a piece in the room. And then there was girls all in the little lobby area of the cell block on floors on the mats. So I went in, they put me on my cell, and I got on the bunk. I was on the bottom bunk. And I was laying there, and I remember I was just crying, you guys. I was so upset. And when you first get to county, what happens is the girls are checking you out. You know, they're like all coming down to my cell telling me it's going to be okay, and that, you know, And I told them, you know, I've never been to jail before. And they're like, it's going to be okay. You're going to make it, girl. Don't be discouraged. It's just like when you get a bunch of women in county jail, most of the time, like that I've been, we would get along, you know. Well, I didn't know I was going to be there for 60 damn days. So I made myself comfortable and I tried to go to sleep. And, well, I didn't try to. I did, because I was high on Xanax. That next morning I woke up, and that's when I walked around the cell block and talked to everybody. And some of them were like, hey, Michelle. And I was like, no, I'm Michelle's sister. Because my sister Michelle used to go to jail every other day. Because, see, we were both in our active addiction at the same time. And so my sister was really well known in the jailhouse. But I hadn't been but that one other time whenever I got pulled over for that possession charge. So I walked around and I was talking to everybody, and I met a couple of friends of mine's moms. And you have to remember, like, back then, all I hung out with, like, was tweakers and dope cooks. So I was like, that's all that's in the county jail in Hot Springs, Arkansas, is tweaker girls and dope cook girlfriends. So I was in there, you know, just kicking it, and they were like, well, girl, do you have underwear? Do you have socks? And I was like, no, I didn't wear the right clothes. And so all the girls came together, donated me a pair of socks, donated me a white bra, and donated me a pair of white underwear. Clean, brand new. And see, what would happen is the little old ladies, they'll hoard everything. Like when people get out, or people like go to their next, you know, stop, maybe they're going to prison, they'll leave behind their blankets, their stuff that they don't need, and they'll give them to the different girls. And a lot of the time what you'll have is you'll have like a mother of the pack of all the girls. So, and that's usually the older ladies. So all the older ladies had like all this stuff saved up. They're like, do you need a blanket, girl? Do you need extra this? Do you need extra that? I was like, no, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. I'll get you back when I get my commissary. And that was the thing. Like, when you were locked up either in jail or prison, if you get commissary and somebody helps you out, then you get them back with commissary, you know? So I remember when my mom loaded my money on my commissary, it was like $50. And I was like, you guys, commissary, my money's loaded. And we all celebrated. I ordered candy. I ordered food. I ordered ramen noodles. I mean, we ordered so much food. And when commissary day would come, we would all go in one cell down at the very bottom. It was the biggest cell on the corner. And we would all sit in there and just tell stories about how we used to get fucked up and who we used to fuck in the dope game and just all kinds of like crazy shit. Well, in that cell, the toilet, you could talk into the toilet, and your voice would carry over into the men's cell block, and they could hear us and we could hear them. So we would call it the telephone. And I remember I was laying in my cell one day, and one of the girls goes, Nicole, you got a phone call. And so I ran down there. And one of my friends was locked up at the same time I was. And Greg. I remember it was like yesterday. He was like, hey, are you all right? You know, I was like, yeah, we're talking in the toilet all the time, you guys, to the dudes. It was like, I can't explain it to you. It was like Girl Scout camp or summer camp, only in jail. Because we would all get together, you know. And we were trying to had to survive. So we had to do what we had to do. Well, at about 15 to 30 days in, a couple girls that I knew really well got in there, and one of them's name was Candace, and then Candace and Kristen Webb and her mom. And so we were all locked up together, and we would talk every night. At night when we would go to bed, the whole cell block would be cutting up and laughing and farting and just all kinds of funny ass shit, you guys. Well, I remember, let me tell you guys a story. One night, they brought a girl in, and she was drunk. I mean drunk. But we all thought, oh, she'll just sleep it off. This poor girl was a raging alcoholic who would drink vodka every morning, every night, and all through the day. So she started going into detox inside the jail. I did not know that when you went through alcohol detox, how dangerous it was. She was hallucinating so bad, you guys. She took off all her clothes, turned on her sink, and flooded her cell because she thought there were ducks, little baby ducks swimming around in her cell. Then it was, there's rats coming out of my vagina, and she was laying on the ground trying to pull these rats out of her punani. And I was just like, we need help. So we're banging on the thing, because you have to like get the guards to come down, because they were upstairs. So we're banging, and they come down, and I'm like, she needs to go to the hospital. She's going through withdrawal from alcohol, and she's hallucinating. They go in her cell. She's naked in there trying to pull these imaginary rats out of her tang. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was so scary. I could not believe how bad her alcohol withdrawal was. But that was the first time I saw something like that. And it was the last time that I would ever let anybody withdraw from alcohol in front of me without taking them to the hospital, because I knew how serious it was. They finally came down and got her and took her to the hospital to detox. But I gotta tell you guys, she had kids. Her husband had divorced her, and she could not stop drinking vodka. Like, she lost her kids. I mean, it was just such a sad, sad story. So me and my friend Candace, we were both going to RPF. And so I think, okay, I got called a month before she got called. So one morning I woke up at 3 a.m. to the bailiff the sheriff on my door saying, "Wake up, DeMayo. It's time for you to go." And I was like, oh shit, it's time. So I was like, wait, bye girls, bye. You know, they're all sleeping. And I got in the police car, and they drove me up to RPF, which is about 45 minutes away, Pine Bluff. And when I first got there, they had to process me in and give me my ADC number, because even though I was in a boot camp style prison for nonviolent offenders, I was still given like an Arkansas Department of Corrections number. Like, I was still in prison, you know, like it was just because it was like a lower facility. Like, I'm not in maximum security, you know, I wasn't in the state penitentiary. I was in boot camp style prison. So they had to process me through and give me like an ADC number and all that stuff. And I remember that's when my fear just like started to like full blown panic attacks. My freaking neck was beet red. Now you guys got to remember, I was like 110 pounds, 120 pounds, dripping wet. I was hella sick from, like, I had withdrawal in county, and it wasn't as bad as it was the last time I had withdrawal when I was in South Arkansas, substance abuse. But it wasn't fun, you know. But I was small, I was weak, I was scared, you guys. I hadn't got to talk to my family very much because I couldn't call them collect from the county jail, and I was just broken. Like, I remember playing the tape over in my mind and going, like, I'm never going to do this again. If I get out of here in a year and I do my time and it goes smoothly, I'm never coming back here. I'm never coming back here. So they processed me and they gave me my ADC number, and then they drove me over to the actual big old giant compound. Huge compound, you guys, like 5 units with like 100 girls in each unit. It was a huge campus, like, and these units were little houses. And then you had a big room where it was like a living room, and then it went out like over here, and it was a sleeping area with like metal racks on top of racks where we would sleep. And then like the bathroom area where the showers and the toilets were at, it was a communal shower. There would be like 5 girls in the shower at one time with all the different shower heads coming on. And let me just tell you guys, when you get some girls locked up for a year or more at a time together, they start turning gay for the stay. That was a lingo that they would say when I was locked up. I didn't know what these folks were talking about, but they were like, girl, watch out for them. Watch out for the dykes that are gay for the stay. And I was like, okay. So it was time for me to get deloused. And I remember they took me in and they put me in the shower in between 2 black ladies. And I don't have nothing against black folks, you guys. You know, I love me some black folks. But at the time, I was so little, and I was considered a white girl, you know. And these 2 girls were like 300 pounds, and they were huge, big mamas. Put me right in the middle of them and sprayed us down with that lice stuff. And I remember in my mind, I thought, this is it. I am the property of the state. I'm not going nowhere. And that's when reality just hit me like, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. You are never leaving this place for a whole year. From there, they took me to a holding cell, where basically it's like being on lockdown, because they have to hold you for 3 days to make sure that you don't have tuberculosis. So they keep you in this holding cell, and I remember who my cellmate was. Her name was Nikki, and she was coming in just the same time I was. She's a bigger girl, a little white girl, and I asked her, I was like, what are you in here for? Methamphetamine, same thing as me. And we sat up, I remember the first night, and just talked all about how we got our charges and what we did. And if I remember correctly, she drove her car into the front end of a church, hallucinating on meth. Been up for too many days. Nikki Murphy was her name. Y'all don't be going up and talking to these folks either, looking them up. I should probably not say their names, but I mean, who's going to watch this video? Not very many people, you know. But from now on, I'll try to make sure that I don't say last names. But anyways, I remember. We were in there, we talked about, you know, what we got for our charges, and that was like a routine thing. Like when somebody new would come in, you would get the lowdown on what they were there for, and you kind of figure out what they were about. Like if they were going to be a narc, if they were going to be somebody who was like only following the rules, you know. And I was always feeling people out. And so the way I was I did what I had to do, but I was cool too. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were over there doing something with somebody and I wasn't supposed to see it, I wouldn't see it. I'd just turn my back. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that streetwise kind of game. So me and Nikki made it through the 3 days in the holding cell, and then they put us out into regular population. And I was in... You go through phases when you live in these units. And like I started out in the first unit, and it was like the unit where basically it's our introduction, orientation to the prison, where you're learning like your schedule and what you have to do. And the way the prison was set up is we had to work jobs every day. And that's how our days went by, is we worked jobs. We learned how to march in figuration. We learned how to just, TC is what they called it, a therapeutic community. And what you would do was you would have these huge, huge meetings on Fridays at the end of the week, where all 300 of the girls in the units, we would all go into the gym, and we would have this big circle called confrontation circle, where you got prisoners confronting other prisoners for negative behaviors. So this is where all kinds of drama started coming into play, because what you got is you got all these girls in the prison, and you got all these girls turning gay for the stay and hooking up with each other while the guards are not looking. Sometimes you even had guards who would stand watch so the girls could have sex with each other. Y'all, this fix gets scandalous. I don't even know if I can tell you guys all the story in one story time, so we might have to end here in a minute. Let me tell you guys about my first experience witnessing one of the other girls having sex with another girl. This story's going to crack y'all up. So I had been there for about a month, and I was kind of getting used to having to shower around the other girls, and I'm learning like the lingo. I'm learning how people talk. I'm learning what the terms mean. I'm learning that if you see a girl that has a hair tie on her wrist on this side, that was a way for her to signal to other girls that she was a lesbian and that she wanted to hook up. So that's how they would identify each other without just walking right up to each other and saying, hey, are you gay? Like, do you want to get together? So one night I was in the shower. Oh my God. And there was like 5 of us in the shower, which is a normal thing, you guys. Like there's 5 shower heads, and I'm under one. A girl right here's under one. Girl right here, here, here. There was this girl, I'm not going to say her name, but she was like known through the compound of being extra sexual. Like she would always be twerking whenever the guards weren't looking. She would always be talking about how she liked to get dick down and get her pussy ate and all crazy stuff like that. Well, I was showering. I had my back to them, and I'm like on the corner shower. I always tried to get the corner shower because it's like kind of off from everybody. And I remember all of a sudden I hear like slapping water. Okay, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's too rhythmic. That's too rhythmic. I kid you guys not. I turn around, and this girl has got her leg up like this on the wall. Showers coming down like this, and it's going right down. She got the shower head going down there, and I kid you not, there was another girl, a stud, a black girl, with a cucumber, with a latex glove slid over it, putting that inside that girl. And you could hear it going, ooh! I remember I just turned around and I was like, what am I seeing? And I turned right back around. I got out of the shower, wrapped myself up in a towel, and got dressed real quickly in one of the bathroom stalls and went straight back to my rack and laid on my rack and talked to the girl below me because I was on the top. And I was like, what the hell? They do that here? I thought that was all made up. I thought that was all story times, you know? No, it is real, you guys. It is real. So that happened. And I was scarred for life after that. Like, I was just like, so this is what I got to watch out for. And it wasn't like I was going to get raped or somebody was going to take it from me. But what these girls would do, these gay for the stay girls, was they would get you in trouble for being too close to you or rubbing, like, not even rubbing you sexually, but like walking past you and rubbing arms with you. Or maybe we would all be in the gym and they would be sitting beside you braiding your hair. Like, all those kind of things were called sexually acting out. And what would happen is if other girls would see you sexually acting out, being too close to other females, then what they would do is on Fridays, they would take you to the confrontation circle, which is this huge gym thing where all of us go sit in the gym, and they take two girls, one who wants to confront a girl for negative behavior and the girl who's being confronted, and they sit in the middle of the basketball court one-on-one and confront each other. So basically what happened, it was like always some drama. So I remember when one of the girls took that one girl to the floor for sexually acting out, and it was like the guards, the women guards would live for it, you guys. They were like living for the drama. But it was like that's all that happened all the time, was girls taking each other to the floor for sexually acting out. And when you would hear about it, you'd go, what? It was crazy, you guys. I remember I got taken to the floor for sexually acting out. Me and my friend Catherine. I'm actually friends with her on Facebook to this day. And we weren't not gay for this day, you guys. We were just best friends. We had made best friends in there, you know. But that's how serious it was with the sexually acting out. Like, you could not be close to sitting to anybody or anything, because the way the girls were so scandalous. Like, they would try to finger each other in the cafeteria, you know, while they're eating food. Like, it was that serious. And we ran the compound. Like, girls ran the cafeteria. Girls did all the work outside and all the, like, lawn mowing. It was called CWC. I worked in laundry, where I would go to my job every day at 3 a.m. and work doing the whole compound's laundry. So, I'm going to stop here. We're in 24 minutes. And we are going to talk tomorrow about how you get a job, and we'll continue this on. So we'll talk about my status and my job tomorrow, but I got a lot of stories to tell you guys because I was there for a whole year. But I wanted to go ahead and get you guys hooked in with my hook, line, and sinker with that stuff, because that's what would happen, you guys. And it was so uncomfortable for me because I wasn't a lesbian, and I didn't want to be gay for this day. And I wasn't a girl who would sexually act out with other women because I was struggling. You know what I mean? And what it showed me is how desperate other women were for attention and validation. And it also showed me how insecure and scared I was, you know. I learned a lot about myself that year. But I also learned a lot of other stuff. So tomorrow we're going to talk about my job in the laundry department and all the things that happened down in laundry, because we would go to work at 2 a.m. and we would get off at noon. So we were there from dark until, you know, sunup, alone most of the time. Now there was one guard, but anyway, we'll leave that for tomorrow. I just wanted to come on here and finish that story with you guys. I hope y'all are enjoying this. I got so many more stories to tell you guys. I'm literally racking my brain. But that story right there, we used to joke about it. And when I told my friends, when I would tell them what happened, I would call it, she was the dun 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 dun. That's what I called that girl. I would make the Ice Ice Baby song every time I walked by her because I thought about her in that shower. I don't know why. But we all had to see each other every day, you guys. So it wasn't like she didn't know that we were all going to catch her. She's doing it right there, right beside us while I was in the shower. Scandalous and scandalo. But anyway, I love you guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video. Like I said, give it a like. It really helps me out a lot. And I love commenting down below with you guys. Thank you for interacting with the video yesterday. And yeah, we'll continue this on tomorrow night. Love you guys. Bye.